Go live, and here we go. And welcome to another day in the Milky Way, folks. Hey, how you doing? And today we have Nina the Mystic as our special guest and Trina Phoenix as my co-host.
Yes.
And
hi, everyone. Hi, Robert. Hi, Nina.
Hi.
We finally made it. No problems. And if something doesn't happen, we will be good to go. And if I fade out or my computer crashes as it has in the past, you guys keep right on going. I'll get right back on. So float the boat and somebody be captain. Drive the bus. Drive the bus.
Absolutely.
I see
we'll keep her steady for you until you get back, Robert.
That's right. I don't know. Well, hopefully I had enough updates and things. And the streaming is good. I got an excellent connection on my internet, so it's good. Sometimes it goes up and then it goes down, and then it crashes.
Mine's been doing that too tonight. It's been going up and down. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, we got all kinds of things going on in the world, and it's just a matter of time before it, comes to our front door and knocking.
Right.
Well, it sounds like we're lucky that we even have power right now. There's a lot of places in the world that has been without power. From what I heard.
Yes, I've seen that.
Yeah, like large places. Yeah, so who knows if this is going in pockets and that we're all going to be hit here, but
that they've been talking about that, the whole 10 days of darkness. So yeah. We're going to be doing a live action role play tonight, guys. So anything that resumes real life is purely coincidence because we're talking about creating a book.
That's right. And if we're going
to discuss a lot of funny topics tonight because we're trying to put together some puzzle pieces for chapters of the book that should be forthcoming. Wink, wink.
Yeah. And if
for research purpose.
And if we use code words, it just makes it all that much more interesting.
Absolutely. So this whole, the whole 10 days of darkness, everybody's like, is it an internet thing or, is it a weather thing or what is it? So this could be maybe what it is.
Yeah. Didn't Mr. O'Brien there, he was talking about how we were going to have a dark winter.
Yeah.
Yeah. What could that mean? Did he kind of know something about the lights going out? Did he tell us we're going to have to put fireflies in a jar and shake them up and make them work,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Maybe we should invest in the Duracell stocks or something, or the battery companies.
There you go. That's
an idea.
That's funny because they call Mr. T Copper Top.
Oh, well, there you go.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
That's funny. Yeah.
So we got all kinds of people pouring in.
Hi, everyone.
Oh my gosh. We have Lori from Pure Love Ascension. We got Teresa D'Anton. She is like a savior for just when I send her stuff to put out the notices, she's right there for me. Thank you, Teresa. Thank you. And we got Darth. Hey, Darth, how you doing? We got Michelle, Can-Am Free. I think she's up in the Wisconsin-ish area somewhere there where I think they got snow. We got Barry Chad. And we got Crystal MacArthur. Hey, hello, Crystal. Don't forget to buy a scarf. It's kind of warm today here in North Dakota. So I'm not wearing my scarf, but I got my wonderful winter hat and it's a little warm. So I'm not wearing that tonight. But if you want to get one of these hats, find Crystal. They're really nice. They're really warm. Everybody loves them. And they're good.
Yay.
I see she had a video. She was making some soap. I don't know if she's selling more soap now, but was doing pretty good before. We also have Milky's mom in the house. Hello. Hey, Brenda. Mom. And she's so sweet. She had a good one on Andromeda 7 the other night, which was that little bit she did was really nice. I enjoyed that very much.
Can I just drop this real quick? I literally felt your son like so proud of you, Mom. He was like, look at you go. So just to say, like, he flooded my heart with excitement hearing your voice. It's a beautiful thing. So thank you.
And we got Jules in the house and Lucky Stone. Lucky Stone is in the house. Who else we got? Oh boy. I don't think maybe I missed somebody, but Anyway, oh, we got Sarah Horton in the house. She was like the first one in the door. She's probably listening, set the phone down. So hello, Sarah. Yeah, she does that. She listens, sets the phone. I'm trying to sell my silky soaps, but I gotta get some more made, she says. Renee Hutchinson, she's in the house. Hello. Anyway, all is good with that. All is good. Crystal says we can make Baghdad batteries. Yes. Learn how to do some things at home. Make your own stuff because, we got to be kind of a little prepper in a way.
The age of Aquarius, they say, it's a humanitarian sign.
Yeah.
It really is. So this, this means that we are going to need to maybe come together a little bit because that might be the only operation that might work for us is to get back to more local, more smaller things.
Yeah. And see, this is what I think the powers that be are doing. They're stopping us from interacting. And little by little, they're stopping us from interacting with our neighbors. Not so much the world, because, we can get on the internet and I can talk to all of you people all around the world right now. But talking with your neighbor, they put the what on, and then they don't want it. Stay back. They don't want you over. No more coming over and having coffee and tea at my house kind of thing. You know what I mean? Christmas dinner. Don't do that. No more people over.
Well, not only that, they're encouraging snitching.
Yes.
They're publicly saying that, the old saying was snitches get stitches. Well, now apparently snitches get whatever. Yeah. So
they get badges and paychecks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, here's a bit of advice to everybody. Mind your own business and spread the word because I'll tell you a little story. I got a little buddy and he does his job. He's got a piss ass job. He's a delivery boy. It doesn't pay a whole lot, but he does his job and he shows up on time and he works hard and he does all that stuff. But the other day there happened to be this activity that was going on around the big white, building. And he seen that and he stops his vehicle and listens to the radio to, find out what's going on. So he's safe. And the 10 or 15 minutes that he was stopped there, some nice passerby who knows that he's the delivery boy and is now stopped, decides to call his job and say, hey, your delivery boy is just sitting there on the side of the road doing nothing. Mm-hmm. And then he gets, wrote up about it because, he stopped for 5-10 minutes maybe to listen to the radio. And I'm thinking, wow, mind your own business, people.
Yep.
What's the guy hurting? Nothing. The guy is hurting nothing by just sitting in his vehicle. And he's not out breaking windows or stealing stuff or smoking pot or something. He's just sitting there minding his own business. So please, people, don't be a Karen and mind somebody else's business. You know what I'm saying?
We don't understand. It's like they're teaching us to divide against each other, to tell on each other, to do these things. And that leads to strong division. And strong division always leads to the reason for war. So, you're setting up a scenario to where this is the only place in the world left that has any kind of so-called freedom, and we're losing it every day because of these behaviors. So what you're trying to protect, you're literally destroying the entire world because we're the only ones left.
Yeah. We set an example for the rest of the world.
No, we don't. No, we haven't in a long time, and that's the problem. Now the corporations speak for the entire world, and there's no voice of the people anymore.
Yeah. I mean, for the most part, the world looks at us for that freedom.
For real. Yes. Yeah.
And when that light is diminished or out, the rest. What do you think the rest of the world's going to do?
Yeah, and they are all looking at America. They really are, and they should, because it's the only nation of its kind. you know, and they're so scared if we lose, they know the whole world loses. So this is important that we come together as a world for, you know, for each other, for humanity, not a color, not a race, a creed, a monetary status. We got to get back to how can we work together?
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna make us or break us, because if we let them divide us, this has happened before in history, like Robert, we were mentioning before. This has happened before to countries, and you know, it was really bad. You know, you divide people against each other, and then lots of people start to die. So
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
That's
like
right.
the saying, like the saying goes, nothing new under the sun.
correct.
Mhm.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you know, we need to learn from history, and this is why a lot of our history we don't have access to. You can't learn from it if you don't know it, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well,
And
and
that's
I
what they're
bet.
doing. That's what they're doing now with the new book burning,
Yes.
basically. That's what's going on
Yes.
right now. It's
Yes.
just digital form.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's a cyclical history. It's a cycle. And you know, they keep changing it, but just ever so slightly. Like I love history books, and I buy these really old history books. And if you look at the really old ones, and then you look at the newer ones, and as it goes along, the story changes. It literally
Yes.
changes. It gets simpler, or it changes a little here, a little there, and a little there, and a little here. And the next thing you know, the story we have today is a lot, almost, you know, it's just a whitewashed story of what happened.
Well, again, it's whoever won, it gets turned into their story.
Yeah.
And it's meant to set a religious narrative. So because 90% of our history has been controlled by religion for a long time.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, break up the word history. It's like his story, right?
Yeah,
so it's somebody's story. It might not be the truth. It has nothing to do with the truth. It just has to be his story.
Correct. But you know, there is so much hope, because we're learning so much. And I hate to say it, but I'm certain that there's 10% of the planet that's awake. 10%. It's all that we needed to make the 100 monkey hit. So this is why you're seeing so many people waking up right now. It's because that's starting to hit the collective, and it won't stop. And the more that we learn, and the more that we keep evolving our consciousness, it's going to really affect things, especially because now we're starting to understand quantum, and you know, the laws of attraction, and the 7 hermetic principles, and how thought and matter exchange and interact and create. So with that potential, guys, there only needs to be 10% of us to make things move.
Yeah, but if you flip that over too, they need 10% to get their ball rolling too. You know,
Not in actuality, because truth and light has a far greater exponential power than anything that's darkness or stealing energy. So a positive charge is stronger than a negative pull, if that makes sense. They're both powerful in their essence. Like a magnet, man, don't mess with a magnet. It can hurt you, you know, but so can a sun. So, you know, they both are positive and negative in their aspects. But like I said, positive energy is stronger than a lower, slower, denser vibration, because it's all about vibration. So,
definitely. And speaking of vibrations and powerful things coming, Nina, did you pull some cards for us tonight?
I did, you know, and I was shuffling around, and all of a sudden 2 fell to the floor. So, you know, and I'm looking at them, and I was like, oh my God, yeah, this is this is it. So the one I got pulled 2 of them out of the Starseed deck that I have.
Oh, Starseeds.
Awesome.
Yes.
Yeah.
We're all
Milky
Starseeds.
Way. I mean, Starseed got to go with that, right? And then I pulled one from the Spirit Animal. We were just watching the other show there in the Con Expired. Oh yeah, I got a Spirit Animal deck. I want to use that one. Anyway, so I got You're Not Alone. And I'm going to read through the book here, what it says. Okay, you're not alone. Just think of the world here, okay? The weight of the world. I mean, I can't even make this stuff up. And what does it say here? The whale spirit. Trust the great mystery. It's almost like trust the plan. Trust that it's happening on the, oh, I'm getting chills. It's happening on the other side. Okay. So as above, so below, right? What's happening down here is also happening up there. There's a spiritual war that's going on here. But let's just see here. You guys can talk for a second while I try and find the
Okay.
Yeah.
thing here. Yeah.
Well, you know, on Friday, you pulled cards, or somebody pulled cards. Oh, I think it was Amber or something. Or somebody pulled cards for America or something like that.
Yeah, I
And
think it was
man,
Amber.
That was just phenomenal. You know, how that turned out. That was just so super. She just, you know, I mean, she was like so in tune. I tell you, I was like, unbelievable. Hey, anyway, we got other people pulling in. We got Giant. Hey, Giant. We got Amber. Amber Dawn's in the house.
Yeah,
And,
speaking of.
yeah, that's right. Let's see. I seen Pa Joe and Deborah Truex.
Hi, Deborah.
And let's see. I think I got everybody. Anyway. Oh, yeah, I got it. I think I got everybody. But anyway,
Yeah,
I'm glad y'all came. But no, things in the world are happening, and
so much happening, and it's so hard because we don't know what we could say, what we can't say. We're like, oh crap, because boy, you guys, we would really like to just really talk.
Yeah, they're taking down so many sites. They were talking about it today. I got up and I'm like, I'm living in a new world. They're censoring everybody. You know, the Mr. T is getting censored right off of everything. What is that? Parlor? You can't even get that anymore. It's like, it's over. You know,
they took down their app.
And they're saying they're going to take away their domain name now too. And it's like, what? You know, it's like, okay, so the big companies created such bigness that you have to go through them to do anything. And then if you do stuff and they don't like it, then they tell you what to do because they're so big. And since everybody's so afraid of them, you can't knock them down because they're all bought off. You know what I'm saying?
So I'm saying, you know, I it's like the only way any of that is it's so hard. It's like the only way to make this work is to like not support the other platforms, and it's hard. I mean, because that would mean like us, you know, not supporting this platform. But it's like, but it's so broad, it's so big. Like I said, we're really going to have to start to really get creative and start to think and use our minds and see how we can put all of these things into where they make sense with, you know, legal representation and help, you know?
Yeah. Well, I keep saying
power of the pen. I'm telling you, it's going to be a powerful tool.
Yeah. And that's, and at some point in time, like today, the last thing I heard on the news was they're now even censoring like Mr. T-Man's emails. They're not even letting his supporters send out emails. I mean, so
I'm telling you, I'm telling you,
the nitty gritty.
This is getting intense. This is getting exactly like, you know, the CH country. That's an INA at the end of that. So yeah.
So like it says,
it's hardcore, guys.
Yeah. When they start censoring even your emails, I mean, if they're censoring those emails, you know, they're looking at all of ours. They're watching our emails, our texts. And when after the 20th, when Mr. O'Brien comes in, he's going to make sure that probably they have us have a nice social score that fits everybody so generously. And if you get out of line, guess what? You know, I've read about it.
I heard today that literally that they were going to go after the people that were registered for the other competition person.
Yeah. Anyone who supports Mr. T is getting targeted.
They were even talking worse things than that.
Yeah. So take down your T flag, put it up O'Brien flag. Otherwise, your house might get a little knock on the door. You never know.
Yeah, it's so great. It's like everything's it's all registered though. It's all public.
Yeah, I know. I'm just we're role playing here. Anyway, I'm just saying is
Totally.
we learned this from other things in history. Didn't this happen with a guy who had a little, like this, and had that little symbol sign with a bunch of people that started with the J, and then he made them all wear a little star thing, and then they all had to walk around like that, and I mean,
everybody keeps talking about the unity thing, and unity. That like our I think we can still say Constitution, right?
Yeah.
That's such a I know. I'm like, can we? I think that's okay. I don't know. I think that's all right. But that's such a beautiful document because it's called a living document.
Yes.
And one of the reasons it's so powerful is because the first words say "we the people" in order to form a more and better perfect union, blah 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 blah. But it's the "we the people" part. That's a powerful thing, and it is an umbrella of the United States, but just the bottom foundation of it is the "we the people" part. It's the only document that starts out that way. Why couldn't that be adopted in the whole entire world?
There are a lot of countries who've taken a constitution or a declaration that mimics ours, very similar.
Canada is the closest, is Canada's, but it still doesn't start out as "we the people." It starts out with the prime minister or this in order to form it. It's always in reference to the king or the rulership or the leadership of that country. It's never designated for the people. And this document is states in the first. And when you look at legal documentations, the text, the size of the wording, whether it's in bold, whether it's underlined, whether it's italicized, all of these things have legal precedence meaning when you know legalese. So when the "we the people" is done in a font that's like 10 times larger than all of the other writing in the document, that states that's the supreme power, and its emphasis upon the entire foundation is based upon this power of this "we the people." So I mean, we need to get to history because we need to understand what these words even mean. What these fonts mean, what these larger letters versus smaller, what it means to be in bold, what it means to be underlined. All these things have meaning.
Absolutely. So did you find those?
Yes, I did. And it's done in a way that so we don't understand it, right? It goes all the way back in the day.
Old grammar in Latin, correct?
Yeah. Way back in the day when only the priests were allowed to read the book.
Most people didn't even have an education. They weren't allowed to learn to read. So like I said, this is an information disclosure age that we're in right now. That's why it's called the time of revelation, which means an apocalypse. That means the great revealing. So, and that's why, because look, the internet, it's got so much information. So now we have all this information. So it's caused the great revealing, which is causing an apocalypse, because it seems like every time that humanity gets to this level of evolution, that brings forth, a calling of some type to where things have to start over again and people need to be brought down so they can be managed.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Anyways, I pulled some cards here. So I got a message here, I guess regarding what's going on in the world, and we got the whale spirit here.
Yep.
Whale. Let's see what that is. Trust the great mystery. So the message is, whale spirit is an ancient creature who was here at the beginning of time and who has seen everything, felt everything, and heard everything that has ever transpired on this planet. In the hidden realms, where all things must gather first before manifesting into form, whale spirit is the keeper, singing the soul of the whole world from the deepest waters of the coldest seas. When a whale spirit appears, it is a reminder that there is a great mystery that you must accept without intellectually trying to understand it. Some things cannot be known by the mind, only experienced through the heart, through intuition, and through the peripheral sense that part the invisible veil separating the visible world from the great manifesting consciousness in the hidden realm. Now is the time for you to immerse yourself in the great mystery of spirit, and to trust that within the invisible, what you can't see now are the seeds of your intentions being tended to by angels. Whoa, I'm getting chills. And then we're going to move over to the Starseed deck here. So we have Weight of the World.
Yeah.
You don't need to carry it all. You're no good to anyone if you're running around on empty and bogged down by the weight of the world. I guess we all are at this moment, right? This card is a reminder to look after your own well-being before anyone else's, to stop carrying the world's problem on your shoulders, to put your own oxygen mask on first. In these carrying times, it's hard not to feel overwhelmed by the state of the planet. However, you can't take on its problem from a place of energetic depletion. This card is thanking you for caring so much. You would build a better world and ease the road for others, and that's incredible. But the way you've been doing it is so likely unsustainable. This isn't to say that you should switch off the world's problems and become unconscious. Rather, it's a call to establish clear boundaries so you're not constantly taken out energetically. The planet needs you to be healthy, both physically and emotionally. So instead of digesting the news or reaching for your phone as soon as you wake up, show up first to nourish, practicing such a meditation, soul inquiry, deep breathing, and exercise in nature. Once you're in a state of grace and your inner well is full, you can face the day, the state of the world, and care for others. And at this day's end, take an energetic shower by emptying out everything that's not yours to carry. You can pick it up again the next morning if you so choose, but give yourself time and space to rejuvenate and rest. And that is so important right now. I think we're all feeling the energies.
I have been exhausted for like 2 days. Just exhausted, but I got that.
You're literally taking on the weight of the world, and that is a very good message here. Now I got one more. It says you're not alone, and I think that's like as above, so below, right there. The older the soul, the deeper the cave. Many starseeds and old souls enjoy their own company. Spending time alone can be comforting and necessary for the vitality, as it allows them to commune with their soul and fill up their energetic resources, especially if they have underactive or open root chakra or find it hard being a human. Many starseeds finds it more nourishing to retreat than to spend time in meaningless conversations and relationships. However, we must remember that we're not here to go about this life alone. Humans are pack animals, and we all need love, company, and support of others, both emotionally and physically. In our increasingly online world, we can be connected to more people and yet feel more alone and isolated than ever. There's still so much we don't know about the energetic side effects of things like social media, with so many people knowing our news, what is doing to our auric field. Commonly, we find ourselves in a constant conversation, yet lacking the genuine connection of physical community and touch. The main message of this card is to step out of your cave and physically reach out to those in your life, to replenish when you need, but to not isolate yourself. This could be seeing friends and family who live nearby, oh my God, I'm getting so much chills, or having a regular catch-up walk with someone. In what ways you can open yourself up to the people who are physically in your life, those you truly know. Isn't that something? And
Wow.
that's exactly what's happening. We're depleting ourselves emotionally, physically, and spiritually by all the news and all the scarcity, right? So we're giving away our energy. We're depleting ourselves, and then we're isolating ourselves. You know, like, yeah. Ugh.
Babies cannot touch, they die. You know, we're the same. We need each other. It's super important. We are like pack animals. So funny. I was just literally talking about this with somebody today. I'm like, you know, partnership is, you know, wonderful. And hopefully I can find that because I think it's we're meant to have people. That's just what we do. People want people.
Well, you're looking at what's happening, you know, with the world, with the diapers that we're wearing, and you know, and sneaking on each other, and you know, we're isolating ourselves. We're distancing ourselves from everyone is germs now. We all see everybody as being
a potential threat.
Yeah. So
instead of, you know, getting past the normal social weird boundaries we already have to have with humans. Now you add this, it like puts it into a whole new level. And like I said, it's a strategic thing about putting us against each other again, because those who will and those who won't, you know, it's so crazy. And we don't realize how much we need each other, and we will not understand the devastation of these effects until we watch the children that are going through this right now and see what happens to them as young adults.
Well, that's the thing. They're not going to get any social skills. You know, they're not. You can't even see people's facial expressions.
Yeah,
you know,
they might not have
really
empathy. No verbal communication skills. None of it.
No, can't play in playground. You can't. You know, You thought that the teenagers were socially adept now.
Oh yeah.
Sitting there on their, you know, with their computer games and everything. Well, what about the next generation now that don't even have the playground to play on? You don't even have anything to look back on.
No, and you see these kids on the playground now, and they have to be in their circles. You know,
they're literally in the bubble, like the bubble boy. Remember that we used to laugh about that back in the day? But well, that's what they are now. They're bubble boys.
I mean, where's the studies on what this does to human beings, and do they know that if this is even safe for humans?
Well, I hate to say it, but I think it's all purposely done that way.
Yeah. Well, I'm guilty of it. I'm guilty of it. When I go places and people are wearing a mask, I'm really rude to people with a mask on. Whereas when somebody doesn't have one on, I smile and I say hi, and you know. But if they have a mask on, I'm rude. I really am. I look back at it and go, but I look at them and they got this you know, diaper on their face, and I'm like, I don't care who you are. I don't care what you're saying, because I can't hear you. I don't know if you're smiling or lying at me, you know. So the heck with you. Go to grass, you know, whatever, and get out of my sight. I don't want to look at you.
Yep.
I know. I go to the store and the lady's wearing the mask, and she's got a shield up, right? Like the plastic thing. I literally can't hear. And then if you have an accent on top of that, sorry, I can't understand a word they're saying.
Nope. Yeah, it's crazy train. It's just crazy.
It is bizarro world. Yeah, that's going on right now. Everything is inverted, and I'm starting to see that now. Now that was brought up to me, I'm really seeing that now.
Yeah, me too. I've been seeing that for a long time. I've been saying that for almost, I mean, literally over and over again. Everything is upside down and backwards.
And see, this is a part where I just say, everybody keeps following. If we would just all take them off and say no, what are they going to do to everybody?
What are they going to? They can't arrest us all. That's right.
Yeah,
they know, and that's what I mean. But see, they've got the divide, and they've got the fear. So many people are so afraid of other people now. That I mean, this is strategic. Unfortunately, it's strategic. But you know, maybe this is where we see a lot of the fear just ends up leaving the planet, because you know, fear creates illness. So these people that are terrified of this are going to be the ones that get pretty much taken down with it.
Well, and that's the thing, by locking us up, not going out, getting fresh air, not being all stressed out. So you got all these, cortisol hormones or whatever it is that's called. I mean, that's going to manifest in the body eventually.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You're going to see it. And if there's any flu bugs going around or common colds like we normally do, they're going to catch it. They're going to get sick for
that's what I've seen, the studies on that. That says when you're actually wearing the diaper, after a while, you get so in your own protected environment, if you don't get secondary pneumonia from breathing in your own bacteria, that eventually when you do remove that, you won't be able to go in any kind of normal situations without catching some kind of a cold, because you're going to have no defenses anymore. You made yourself completely hypersensitive to everything that you weren't even sensitive to before, because you were constantly getting exposures. And without that,
I know. So what's going to happen to these children? They can't even go out and play. So their immune system is going to be like at zero. They're going to have no immune system. So now they're going to have to shelter them even more now, because now they actually can't get sick.
There was a big report about the new jab on the the 3-letter agency, that's cats, dogs, and camels.
Mm-hmm.
And they were suggesting if there is any chance that you do want to procreate, that you need to look into preservation and freezing, because
I saw that, and I suggested that to my sons. I think maybe it's a good idea if we go and do that, because we don't know what's happening here. Like,
you really, for sure should, because
I think that's a good idea.
Yeah, they're telling you something right there. So anybody that wants to have families, you need to take precautionary measures before you do any kind of body intervention with this thing, because they're saying if you don't preserve it, it ain't going to happen. So that's a pretty big situation right there.
Population reduction right there.
Bottom line, bingo, it's done. All these
it's brilliant. It's a brilliant plan, right?
All the ones that already have, that didn't know this and didn't take precautions, they might not have any options for family now.
No, that's right. That's right. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, besides that, the mental health of people is going down the tubes, and it's wrecking families. They said more people died of suicide and drug overdoses this year than ever before. And I'm like, holy cow.
And think about it, Robert. In the Bible, it says men's hearts will fail them for what they see, and many people will take their lives.
But that's coming. That hasn't happened yet. That's actually coming down the road. So we know there's something big coming down the road here, but not to scare people, but
Well, we're talking about the future by learning about the past. That's the whole point of this.
Possibilities and potentials, and how things could run, and how we could look at different ways they could run, and what would those ways look like.
Well, let's look at the past here. So what did Mr. H want to do? First thing he did, got rid of the guns. Right. First thing, and that's already happened. The first thing Trudeau did here in Canada when this outbreak was to have a false flag and then take away the last little bit of gun thing that we had here in Canada.
Australia too.
Australia too. First thing they did, right? And that's what Mr. H did. And then the whole BLM thing, they wanted to get rid of the police, right? They want to get rid of the police. Well, what did Mr. H do? He wanted to get rid of the police and put in the brown shirts.
Mm-hmm.
We're repeating the whole thing. It's all over again.
There's people who have actually been through that and left certain countries with similar situations. They said that they're freaking out because they can't believe it. It's identical to what they saw in their country before things went really, really wrong. So I don't understand how people can't understand that.
Mm-hmm.
How could
they don't want to? They got those blinders on, and all they see is their little world. They don't want to see They don't want to know.
Yeah, if it doesn't
handle that.
If it doesn't affect you, as much as people have been telling me, if it doesn't affect you in your little space, they don't care. So unless it shows up on their doorstep, they really don't care. As long as they go to work, go to town, buy their food, go home, watch TV, have the electric on, the telephone on, pay their bills, they're good.
That's it. But they don't realize that eventually it's going to knock on your door. It's going to affect you. But by that time, it's going to be too late for them, though, right? So that's the problem. Yeah.
Yes. And that's the thing. Wasn't there that saying? I watched him take my neighbor. I watched him take the other people. And then these people, they came for those people. And then finally they came to get me and there was nobody left, you know, and that's exactly the truth. You know, it's like these guys on their social media that they're taking down. They took down the one guy and nobody spoke up. Then they took down the next and the next and the next and the next. And now they're just having a free for all. And even the big guy, Mr. T, he can't do anything. His hands are so tied right now that he'd be lucky to make it the last 12 days without getting booted. So Mr. O'Brien can come in, you know, and then
which is scary.
Heck is going to break
That is
loose.
a scary thought. If your own president can't even have his Twitter account up, I mean, what does that say for the rest of us? And I guess that's the scare tactic that they're doing to scare us into submission, right? By doing that.
Yeah. And then when we get out of line, then they say, oh, the bug is getting worse. You gotta stay home. You gotta take the, you know what shot, and you gotta do all these things and put that, you know, diaper on your face and social distance some more because, and then you get thinking, well, gee, maybe I shouldn't go out. Maybe I shouldn't, you know, do these. Maybe I'll just sit home and not say anything because it'll just get me in trouble. And nobody wants to get in trouble. I don't want to get in trouble. But then again, at some point, it's like, okay, I did so many things not to get in trouble. And now I am in trouble for just sitting there doing nothing. There you go.
Yeah, I know.
So
I know. I was just talking to my brother too, because he's sort of been on the other side the whole time, kind of, you know, not believing. But it's funny how I've seen him waking up over the last few months. And in that sense, hallelujah. I mean, I'm loving it, right? But we were just talking on the phone today because I've always been against the jab. I'll never take the jab. And he's like, oh, well, you don't have to worry about that. Half the population, you know, don't want to take it. And I'm like, yeah, okay. So what does that tell us? Because we know they want us to take it. They got 2 doses that they have lined up for all of us. They want us to take it. So they're going to have to make sure we're going to want to take it. So something is probably going to be coming here in the near future that's going to make us want to take it. So just be a heads up on that.
Yeah, don't fall for it.
Don't fall for it, you know, and stay strong. Yeah, I know. So,
yeah, everybody says they're going to stay strong until their job looks at them and says, you gotta have to have it if you want to work here. And then you're going to sit there and think, I need a job.
Yeah,
you know, it's I hate to say it, but in history, whether we stand or fall, it's going to be determined by the ones in what. This is why they gave them the name, the front line.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Absolutely. But they're saying about 50% of them are saying absolutely not. So thank you guys. Thank you so much. I know what you're giving up and what you're risking for this, and thank you, because they're going to save a lot of lives. You know, because I don't know how.
Yeah, but see,
I heard a couple days ago from the same 3-letter stuff reporting, and they were talking about I think it was from the one place the country with the CH and and then it talks about Ina at the end of that. So they were talking about 76 effects. 76.
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely.
Extreme. I mean, some of these are really extreme. So it's like, wow, man, I don't know. You're almost better off taking your chances because that's a lot. That's a lot.
Yeah. If I'm healthy now. Why would I want to take something that I got, a chance of getting something from?
And actually, I just saw, because I'm from Norway, so I still have a few things popping up from Europe and stuff. And there was, it's funny to see them wake up now. There was somebody that died over there from the jab. So now they're like, oh my God, so-and-so died from, so now it's starting to, because we're talking online, we can hear these things. So,
they've had several apparently. several.
Yeah, either paralysis or death. Yeah. So, and then the sterility thing is,
There was a doctor in Indonesia.
There was one in Florida.
Another healthcare worker in Portugal. There's a lot.
Yeah. So
yeah, and that's all, like you said, there's only like maybe 40% of them that actually took it. What would have happened if 100% of them took it?
Right. And I mean, and plus too, we don't know how many people are having problems. We just don't, because we know that we're not getting that information because it's not being made available.
Oh, of course not.
So, and that's not okay. If we're being trialed on something, we have the right to know what's happening with this trial.
Mm-hmm.
So, I want to know what's really going on. What are the numbers? How many people have effects? How are those effects? What are the ranges of those? And is there compensation if you can no longer work or support your family? Where's any compensation for if there is an issue?
Yeah.
So,
as far as I read, if you get sick from the jab, you can sue your employer, but you can't sue the maker of the what.
That's what I mean. And that's not going to do you any good, because after 15 people sue them, they just go BK, and then they're bankrupt and they're out of business. There's nobody to go to. There's nowhere to turn. So that, you're talking personal property here, big property, your vehicle. There's, no other more important than that.
Yeah.
So, I am like, I could never, ever agree until they would, because I have a feeling I would have a serious complication, because I did from the last run I got. So with that, I can't do it. So if I am forced to, I want somebody to have some liability, because if you break my body, I'm not.
And I think they've already thought about this.
To guinea pig me. No.
They've already thought about this, because they're rolling out the universal basic income. Yes. So it doesn't matter if you're sick or healthy, it doesn't matter. You're all going to be able to pay the rent. So,
Yeah.
They've taken care of us.
See again, people don't, this sounds great for a lot of people.
Right.
But what they don't understand is, they're going to give you $2,000 a month, but it's going to be $1,980 to pay the rent. You won't be able to pay for utilities or food or medical or anything. So people don't get what this means.
Yeah.
They don't
you're not too far off what the rent is here where I live right now.
That's what I'm telling you. And if this goes into effect, the rents go through the roof, the food goes through the roof, everything goes through the roof. People do not understand this. That's why they were bringing wheelbarrows filled of money in Germany to buy a loaf of bread.
Right.
Yeah,
but that's coming too. Yeah.
Did you with that? I researched a little bit of that universal basic income, but people don't realize what they're giving up. When you go on that, you sign away your life to own nothing.
Property rights.
Yeah, your bills, everything. It's going to sound so good. Think about it. You owe a lot of money to all these different. They cancel all of that out. They set you up with a place to live or let you live where you're at. But then they give you a certain amount of income, but then you can never own anything again, period.
Right.
You have to rent everything for the rest of your life.
Does that mean that they choose where you live? Will you ever be able to have a chance to move again?
Yes, you have to live where they want. You have to take the vaccines when you want. You have to do everything that's in this contract of what they tell you to do, because basically you're owned. They give you money, they own you.
You know why?
Never get off of it.
You want to know why? Because you're signed an employee agreement.
Yes.
Turning you into an employee.
Yeah.
Didn't know it, did you?
Yeah. And most people, they don't care. Right? Most people, honestly, don't want to work. Right. Yeah. Most people, would rather go that route.
Yeah, that's the thing. Especially if you owed a lot of money, you had a family, you were unemployed for a year because they shut the system down, and then you said, "Oh man, they're coming to my door, and we're going to get this money. They're going to wipe away our bills. We can continue to live where we're at for the time being. Everything is going to be fine. They're going to take care of us. They're going to give us food and money and to pay our bills, and this is a wonderful deal." And without reading the paperwork, just like when you hit the button that says "I agree" on the apps that you get and the things like that, they'll sign This is good. And
Yeah.
then six months, a year, 2 years later, they'll say, this is horrible. I hate it. I want to get out of it. And they'll say, no, see where you sign? You're in it for life. And then at that point, somebody's going to go, I don't want to live anymore. Bang.
Right.
And no more, you know.
Well,
Yeah,
that's
we're
what
going to
they're
see a lot of that.
That's what they're
Yeah.
hoping. That's the plan. Yeah.
Yes.
And,
Yes.
you know, and like you said, you know, a lot of people, this is going to sound like a great thing for them. And, you know, like I said, boy, you're going into a big time slavery system, bigger than the one we're already in. So, wow. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It's going to sound like a candy bar. Just
Good
handed
times
to you.
ahead. Yeah, I know. So these cards are actually, you know, even more like we really got to pay attention to our own body and to rejuvenate, not to get too stressed out about this, you know, to make sure that we do take our self-care and to replenish our energy and stuff like that so we don't burn out, because the world is going to need us.
That's what I mean. Meditation, self-care. We got to be on our game, and anybody that has the means to, you know, do a little bit of prepping and be prepared for, you know, because we don't know. Weather's crazy. There's so much crazy stuff going on with different, we're at the end of a big cycle, and this cycle is causing a transitional wave of weirdness, you know, so.
Yeah,
Well, I don't think we're gonna go through that for a little bit.
We're going to need to go back to the way it was with growing our own food. So I have, you know, I got like all the seeds I'm going to need. I got a little greenhouse that I can set up if need be. I've learned how to can now. So I did my first batch of jams here this last few months here, and just going back to basics, right? Yeah, I got to learn it so I can teach it to my kids, because let's face it, I mean, I was caught up in the modern world too. I never did any of that stuff. You know, I got a bread machine here now. So if somehow the stores are closed and I can't go there to get bread, well, I can make my own. I got enough flour and oil and everything else to go for months.
Yeah.
You know, so that is, yeah. So I've been saying that for years for everybody. Every time you go shopping, pick up a couple extra things. It doesn't have to be one of those big, huge, expensive things that you see online. Yeah, like every time you go, pick up a couple extra, whatever's on sale. Like you can get Campbell's soup, a whole thing of Campbell's soup for like $11 here.
Yes.
I mean, you know, throw a few of that in the garage, you know, some water, whatever. If they do decide to turn off the power or whatever they're planning on doing, you'll be set. You'll be fine. Yeah.
You know, exactly. So you know what I did? They got.
Oh dear. He froze.
Got these kits full of stuff, things like that. Oh, you guys are froze up. Anyway, you know, there's that stuff.
Too, Robert.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Make your own bucket.
Truth. Make your own bucket. Exactly.
Yes, make your own bucket. So what I do is I go and I get myself the 5-gallon bucket, and then I fill it with. Hang on. Hold that thought.
Okay.
Okay. So. Okay. So then I put stuff in there that'll keep, like protein. There's tuna, that's like $1. Sardines keep forever. That's protein. Keeps. I
got those too. Yeah.
And then I got like lots of oatmeal.
Yeah. Oh, your audio went there, Robert.
Yeah, I think he broke up again.
Oh crap!
The internet is getting.
Oh, there
a
it is.
wobbly.
I can hear you.
I'm
now.
here. Don't worry. Hang on.
Right on.
So yeah, there's also a lot of protein in beans. You know, that's why the Mexican love their rice and beans. So, you know, there you go. That's cheap. It's easy to store, stores forever. And, you know, and then, yeah, if you have the money for some tuna and whatever, the other canned meats, great.
Yes.
You know, get it when it's on sale.
I put
oatmeal.
Yeah. I take a little, you know, I take quart bags and make, or you can do it with, you know, where you suck the air out. But, you know, put a little flour, sugar, salt, pepper, you know, things like that in there. Oatmeal, like you said, noodles, things that are already dried. A box of pudding. If for something that, you know, you're gonna be locked down for a while, you want a snack, instant pudding. You know, you buy it in that freeze-dried food. It's the exact same thing. Kool-Aid in the packet. Good thing to have. It might not be good for you, but hey, you know, whatever. And powdered milk. because then you can make all kinds of things. And if you want to make something, then put some like baking soda. Baking soda works good for gargling with, brushing your teeth with, cleaning with, all kinds of stuff. You know, yes, exactly. And it's cheap. It's $1 for a box of it. You know, and then a baking soda, so you can make baking soda biscuits, simple breads. You know, things like you were saying, making some bread. Buy one of those little packs of the yeast. They're like $1.10 or something, and throw that in there. And then you can use that yeast over and over and make it last a long time. But you can.
I even got a step further. I got the freeze-dried milk, but also the evaporated milk. It's great because it's like condensed, like creamy, so you can make things. And then the coffee mate. I don't normally use coffee mate. But in an emergency, it was sure be nice to have a little cream in your coffee, right? And then, of course, a lot of coffee and teas and stuff like that. Because I grew up in the post-war era, so I heard all the stories about the war. And my grandmother was telling me, because then there was no more import anymore. So we had no more coffee or tea or any of the citrus, a lot of the fruits, none of that. So my grandma told me that they used to make coffee out of bark, tree bark.
Wow.
Things like that. So I'm thinking to myself, okay, so if the borders are closed, we're not going to get any more coffee or whatever. So stock up on your coffee, your teas, anything that doesn't grow in your neck of the woods, you're not going to be able to get a hold of. So if you really enjoy those things, you want to probably stock up on that stuff. You know,
lots of tea. See, I buy the big bag. They're individually wrapped.
Yeah. And that stuff will last. I mean, they might. It says it expired, but it's still good. Still good.
So the thing is when you get that stuff, like you're saying, the instant coffee, that I read is good for 25 years.
There you go.
It'll last. So
and yet it's got a date on there, but you know what? The date's there so that you'll buy more, right? I mean, that's the marketing thing.
For most of the things, that's true. You know, one thing too, a lot of people don't think about, multivitamins, supplements. So that way, if there is any kind of stuff where you're not getting a lot of food, at least you can get some nutrition. So get some vitamins, minerals.
A few months of everything, and same with your medications. If you rely on some kind of medication, make sure you got 3 to 6 months extra, just in case, if you're able to.
And I know that's hard because a lot of physicians aren't allowed to write those prescriptions for that long out, and a lot of people they can't afford to buy them. So I know that that's difficult. So like I said, that's going to be something really important. So you guys might want to really start to plan for that. At least have 30 days back up.
And then here's one last tip for you. And this is a real life experience that me and a buddy had the other day. We had a big long talk about this. And I says, we've been talking for years about bugging out, blah, 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 go on and on. And I says, okay, so his wife had a blood clot in her leg, and she had to go to the doctor in a hospital for all of this stuff. And luckily, she's all right. Everybody, don't worry, she's fine. She survived. Everything was good, but she had to go and get some blood thinners, right? So I said to him, what if, they had this, jab that they're going to give you, and you didn't take it, and now they won't let you in the hospital without the jab. And you got a blood clot. What do? Did you have any aspirin? Did you have this? Did you have that? I says, and then so your wife, she could die. So you take her in, she gets the jab. Then what are you going to do? Stand outside? You're not going to get it? You're going to say, go in, bye-bye. What are you going to do? Good question.
This is how they're going to get you, right? Eventually, they're going to get us all, right? Or most of you, not me. But they're going to get you one way or another, right? I mean, even now, my son just had emergency surgery. I can't even go and see him. My own son, his own wife can't even go in there. It's like
no. And that's scary because a lot of problems that happen for things go wrong, people don't communicate, there's medication interactions, there's certain things going wrong. Your loved ones are like the barrier between, because they help make sure things go right, because humans do make mistakes. So you don't have that kind of support system with you when you're in that vulnerable situation. That's a scary situation.
And what's to say that they're not giving out the jab while you're there? You don't know. You're under.
Yeah. I know.
Yeah, you don't know. Exactly. You're under, they're giving it to you. No, I totally agree. So here's my suggestion. We talked a little bit about this, me and my buddy, and we said, okay, you know, we need to get a book. I got like 3 or 4 books, and he's got some too. And he says, you know, we're going to have to get books on wild edible plants that, you know, you could make and start having to make the stuff yourself. Now, here's my idea. Make it now. You know, go out and experiment with this stuff now while you're, you know, in case you do screw up and you have to go to the doc, but use it now, use your knowledge now, go out and practice, not the day it happens. And then you open the book and say, what wild edible plant do I got to have to make some blood thinner? Huh. Well, here's a dandelion. Well, they're all dead. They're buried under snow. There's 6 foot of snow. And, well, guess what? We're not going to get any this week. You know what I'm saying? That's
so
my suggestions.
The old ways, like the old witchcraft ways, are coming back, because that's what they were doing. They were just taking plants and herbs and making things with them. That's what the witches were doing. And so that's all coming back now. So
exactly, that's where the like you said, witches were the wise people. There were the people that lives on the outskirts of town that had all the tinctures and things like that somebody's, you know, I need a doctor kind of thing, you know.
That's right, exactly. And it's the pharmaceuticals, a lot of it is the same stuff, they just got a different name on it now. But it's all, you know,
but
hey, can I read something kind of cool? It's a channeled message, and it's from Saint Germain. This is only part of it, but I think this is kind of a good place where we can kind of leave this off with an end, because we've been looking at some heavy things, and it's like, how can we also look at what is this and how can we turn this all around? So down here, you have a condition usually referred to as karma, and also known as the law of cause and effect. This is a condition that each of you agreed to prior to participating in a growth experience that you now find yourself working within. This condition states that you shall have to balance out, which you have caused to be unbalanced. This goes for the thoughts as well as the actions. When you can learn to balance these conditions of unrest, you will have graduated from this school, and you will move on to help others learn the same lesson. You have come down here. Those of you have ones down there who simply refuse to accept any of their thoughts and actions affecting anything else other than which is there in the physical in front of them. There are ones, through their ignorance and a dense state of mental compression, the 2% who control the planet upon which you live. You may ask, how could this be? The laws of creation work for all without prejudice. These dark ones who have little or no conscience, they in turn will take actions that normal souled beings would not do themselves. This is where we need to maybe rethink what we will allow and not allow in the future to come. For the lighted ones realize that this is wrong to infringe upon the rights of another. But these 2% of your population are manifesting tremendous debt, which must eventually be balanced out, and they realize it not. These ones shall not be allowed to continue forever in their ignorance. The Creator shall at some point recall, which has been created, and balance out in a responsible manner that which he himself is allowed and has allowed to persist. Prior to this recalling unto himself, these ones shall be given every opportunity to come into the recognition of what they are doing. Some shall wake up to the higher reality of what they are doing, but many will refuse to learn, and thus shall remain in ignorance. In the meantime, these ones serve a purpose for you, the lighted ones who need to see both sides of the coin. so that you can learn the wisdom of following the laws of God according to the laws of cause and effect. You cannot graduate from the wheel of reincarnation until you have balanced out all that you have unbalanced. This does not mean that you cannot work on other aspects of your growth, but it most certainly means that you cannot put up third dimensional experience behind you unless and until you balance that which you have created in an unbalanced and third dimensional realm. So, the entire universe in which we live has been brought into complete, utter, out of balance aspect. The feminine has been suppressed. Our systems are being controlled. Everything is completely out of balance. And how we can change this all is, first of all, we have to understand what we are. And at the smallest part of it is we are an atom. We are atomic. And within that atom is photons. And within that photon are pixels. So it's the pictures, the images that we create in our mind will create this world. And right now, the images that are being projected upon the screens that we see, for the most part, are to bring us into compliance and fear, regulation, control, and destroy the liberties and the freedoms that we've loved for so long. So with that, we need to imagine and use the power of our will. The first ray of creation is the will of God, and let our will become the driving force of this reality, and it will take focus. But all we have to do is imagine what we want to see, rather than allowing the script that's being run in front of us to be the manifestation in this holographic reality that we are existing in now. Because if we change the picture, it shifts the atom, and through that we shift the reality. So create a picture, guys. Picture you want to see, and see it every day.
Yeah, exactly.
That
Yeah,
is
well,
really,
that's the thing, you know,
right.
it does come down to choices too. You know, we
Yeah.
choose, if we
Yeah.
choose to sit in fear, or we choose, you know, yeah, so
Yeah.
choose wisely.
So,
Yeah.
so they're wondering if that's a Marsha pendant.
It is. I was just going to answer Jules. I'm like, Jules, thank you. And this is from Marsha. And the inside pendant is the symbol of the
Here, let me
Aries. See it?
Let me pull that up.
Nice.
Say
Love
something
that.
again.
Okay, I'm talking.
There you go. Wow, that's beautiful.
Isn't that beautiful? It's
I know.
so pretty.
She's going to be making me some stuff too. I'm kind of excited about that. Yeah.
You're going to love it. Oh my gosh. Presents from Marsha are so wonderful. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Mhm.
Oh, Robert
That's
froze
it, guys.
up.
We got to dream a good dream and make the appropriate preparations. And guys, we got to protect each other, because if we don't, it's going to be like what Robert says, you know, first they came to the neighbors, then they came here, and then there was nobody left to protect me. So
Yeah.
we've got to embrace each other. And this is why the division and face covering and making everything non-personal. It's because when you aren't personally connected, you won't stand up. You won't do anything.
Yeah.
You'll be compliant, just like it was back in the times of H. So we need to be really aware of cycles of history and where they've gone. Guys, we're into the 10th platform of that H scenario. So that's pretty scary, because that means all levels are met, and we are in it. We're in it now. So wake up, pay attention.
Exactly. Couldn't have said it better.
Protect
I know
the
exactly.
ones
Just
you
like what the card said too, you know, we're a pack animal and we need to stick together now.
It's the only way. It's the only way we're going to get through this. It's
Yeah,
really,
you notice too, with when people are wearing the mask, they don't even look at you. Everybody's looking down, right? They
it's
don't
a
even want to look at you.
psychological. It's truly a psychological thing, and it's one of the first things that you do when you want to put people under extreme fear and compliance and control. It's literally a mind thing. When you take somebody's ability to smile and their ability to express with their face and their speech, it's a serious level of preparing you for trauma.
Yeah.
And that's just a fact. So
So once we know that, though, we can relax a little bit, right? To try to, and like the card said, it's very important to do self-care and to not to stress yourself to the point where you're going to get sick.
And unfortunately, we're going to have to live and let live. A certain amount of people are going to want to go one direction while people are going to go in another direction. And what we're just going to have to do is not hate or repel against that which you do not want to see, but fully embrace, support, love, and protect that which you do want to see.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Focus on where you want to go and not focus on the stuff that we don't want. Yeah.
So critical right now. So important, guys. It's going to be what's going to make us or break us. They keep telling me it's going to be about who can imagine the strongest will win. And it will be about the will of creation. And there doesn't need to be that many of us because there are so many more of us. So.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. If people realize that, the 1% and then the rest of us, I mean, come on now.
Right. Hands down. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it doesn't matter if 90% are still asleep. Our 10% is still so much bigger than what it needs to be. So know that.
And so many more are waking up every day, and it's exciting to see. I'm actually really excited about that.
They can't help it because we truly are connected in our consciousness. We are so connected to each other. I was thinking about remote viewing, and I was wondering if part of that experience can happen because we, as part of source creation, we are a part of the universe. So within the part that we are in each part of the universe, like we could probably see through that part of us that's in that part of the universe easily because you're there, because you're part of that. Because creation shows me like we're like cells in a body. You know how cells zap in and out of dimensions and they don't know where they go and then they randomly just show up again. It's what they showed me. They're like, that's what you're doing through the entire cosmos. So parts of you are in places all the time that you have no idea or consciousness of. But if you chose to tune in on that, you would have access to it because you can see through your cell. And that's why they call them cell phones. This is truly how we communicate to one another.
Wow. That is profound. Yeah. That's awesome, Trina.
And that's what I'm saying. We can take pictures. So like, when you decide to focus on a certain target or a point, if it's a body or even if it's an object, they're all living. They're just different rates of vibration. So within that, you can, through vibration, you can become anything because you are part of the everything. So this is all coming together in my mind, and they keep showing me it's about the power of the photon. And the photon is attached to the pixels, the pictures that you see. So create your pictures, create your visions, and make the reality come manifest because we do it by default.
Yes. Yes. I love that. Hey, Robert's back.
I'm back.
Hi, sorry. Robert. So glad you're back.
I know. That stupid computer thing.
I know, right? So crazy.
I know. Just in time to say goodbye, right? But hey, it was
Thank God, though.
Yeah, I know. I was like,
right?
Oh well, if I can't get it back on, but it came right back up. I was like, woohoo!
Good.
But yeah, great discussion tonight. I think this was a super good thing, and I'm glad we all talked about it, and whatever. So it was
as
good.
much as we can.
Yeah. So even though it was just pretend, and thanks.
That's right.
Live action role play, and
it's a LARP session. That's right. A LARP.
Yeah.
So I want
the loops of time and how we've jumped through them and how to potentially navigate the ones that we're getting ready to come into and how to formulate that into something that makes sense.
Yeah, exactly. Well, thank you, Nina, for coming on. And, and I hope, you keep up with the good readings like that. You're spot on.
Yeah.
So, to everybody else, if you want to get a reading, go, give her a jingle, send her an email, something, because by gosh, she's spot on there. You do a good job. You do a real good job. So
yes, she does.
Well, thank you very much. Thank you. Yeah. All my links should be down below in the description there. If anybody's interested in a reading.
Yeah.
Oh.
And they're all good.
Did you want to talk about those removal contracts that you were looking into, Nina?
Oh yeah, why?
I think people might be really interested in that.
What's that? The removal.
Remember you were
contract?
talking about you were getting
Oh.
ready to do a reverse baptism.
Yes. So there's a huge ritual coming up in February here that I'm going to be part of. Reverse baptism. And I personally did that 3 times. So I got a lot of programming and whatever to get rid of. You know, that indoctrination is so embedded, so deep, so deep, you know, and can't wait. I should have done it years ago, but. So.
Yeah, and I was telling Nina, because, you know, she's like, you know, wants to break the contracts of things that were put over her from her childhood and when she was a baby and, you know, different stuff. And, you know, it's like we've all been brought into these different contracts and, you know, it's a great thing to do for yourself to reinstate your own sovereignty and write yourself a contract between you and your oversoul. And, you know, break all the ones that you know that you have any awareness of and remove the things that you do not think serve you and your highest goal for expansion, because expansion requires movement and the freedom to grow. So expansion and graduation, all of these things revolve around your ability to be a sovereign being that has the ability to continue your evolution of expansion of creation as a creator. So
exactly.
think about your contracts and think about the ones you may not want anymore and seriously rescind, remove, rebuke, and reinstate new ones. Write your own new ones. What you say is good for you and what you say is allowed in your soul spirit realm.
Exactly. Yeah. Can't wait.
Yeah.
And for everybody who wants to know, Teresa just said that Max has got his Max remote viewing class going on. So if you want to get on out of here and go check him out and practice using your vision. I know I've done it many a times. I got a little whiteboard and I draw and write stuff on it. And you guys had that Andromeda show about remote viewing. It's really good and you should all do it and try it. So it can't hurt. What the heck? You might be really good. Who knows?
So. And sometimes too, you just got to get a little practice. And I will tell you guys, the best way to learn is in groups because it's a frequency thing. Yes. And when you're all focused, you have a better chance to learn these things in groups than you do on your own, hands down. So anybody who wants to learn, seriously, this is
we're gonna get Max on here one of these days too. So,
oh, that'd be great. You know. Absolutely great.
So absolutely. Okay, with that, be the frequency you want to receive.
Love you all.
Love you all. And we will see you next week.